Hello everyone, welcome to Inspired Travel Coaching. My name is Chloe Kaszewski from onewayjourney.com. In this video, we are going to be covering the keywords that we're going to be looking at is betrayal, self-care, and Tanzania. Now, you may look at those three things and think, what on earth is she talking about? But I will explain. It will all make sense, trust me. So I've got here some countries, a whole bunch of cards that have got various different countries on. So what I do is I give them a shuffle and just randomly select one. So it could be somewhere that I've been before, or it could be somewhere just, completely new, like the one that I've got today and I'm so excited about. What I also do, because obviously there's lots of different subjects, of positions that we find ourselves in throughout life. So rather than me just picking off the top of my head, what I do for a bit of fun for myself, and also just to kind of add in a little twist, I guess, is I use tarot cards to just randomly, again, select. This is not tarot reading. I don't do tarot readings, but I just use them for a bit of inspiration to create this video. So the cards that were pulled out today were the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. So and the country card that was pulled out was Tanzania in East Africa. So I've never been to Tanzania, and when I first pulled the card out, I was like, Tanzania? Just that overwhelming, like, oh my God, like Africa, like I've never been to Africa. Is Africa safe? You just the immediate thing that you did. But I've just been researching it and I'm so excited. I'm going to Tanzania. I'm so excited. So with the cards that are pulled out, the idea that we're going to kind of talk about, so the things that we're going to go through it really is to some degree relevant to all of us and to various different parts of our life. But this particular person that I'm talking about today is perhaps somebody who has been betrayed by somebody in the past. So they're struggling to kind of let go and move on from some kind of betrayal that's happened. And this could be something that's happened quite recently, or it could be something that happened a long, long time ago that perhaps you're struggling to overcome. Now, this could be a kind of betrayal where in a romantic betrayal where a partner perhaps maybe put you in a third party position by cheating on you or leaving you for somebody else, or it could be some kind of betrayal within a friendship. So it could be a disagreement or a falling out or something with a friend because they betrayed you, and it's something that you're still holding on to that pain from that. It's also looking at somebody who needs to work a bit on their self-care. So, this is a card that's basically telling you to take your finances, yourself, your mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and to put some care into them and give yourself a bit of love and attention. So that's who we're kind of looking at today. Again, I think these situations, self-care, betrayal, falling out with friends because of betrayal, that this is something that can affect any of us at any time in our life. So if this does resonate with you, then brilliant. If not, then you can obviously just forward straight to the Tanzania bit if you want. It's entirely up to you. But let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Let's get started. So yes, here we go. Betrayal, self-care, Tanzania. Look at this picture. I am so excited. So we're starting with then betrayal. It's first important to have a little look and discuss more about betrayal. So betrayal is the breaking or violation of a trust or confidence. Now, this can come out in many different ways for different people. It can, primarily show itself as hurt, as anger, as being confused or emotional. Now, betrayal is one of those things that you can have a combination of all of them. You can have one that's more prominent than the other, and then they can switch up. So one minute you can be angry, then you can be confused, then you can be hurt, then you can be angry again, and it can just keep going in a circle like that. So betrayal is when somebody breaks your confidence or your trust, and leaves you feeling these in any of these particular ways. Now, it's really important to let go of pain and negative thoughts around betrayal, because sometimes we tend to hold on to emotional pain because it keeps us connected to something or to someone. And this is a very normal human behavior. Like, you're not alone in doing this. It's just something that a lot of us tend to do. Now, quite often our ego doesn't want us to let go of something or someone, because it identifies that as being part of who we are. And if we were to let go of that, then who are we? So essentially what we tend to do is hold on to it. Now, if I was to ask you, well, do you want to hold on to that pain? You would say, no, I don't want to hold on to it. Of course you don't. None of us do. But that's the kind of tricky thing with it. Although we don't want to, it's something within us just can't seem to shake it off. Which is where you need to consciously come in to actively make those changes. So if you are not letting go of those painful or negative thoughts or memories, then it leaves you unable to move forward. You just kind of get stuck in this same circle where you're going over the same things, the same patterns, the same behaviors, the same situations, and they're just on repeat all the time. And you just feel stuck. You end up just feeling stuck in this position where you can't move forward. So it's really important to let go, to allow you to start moving forward into a place where you can experience inner peace. It is so amazing to feel that kind of calmness within yourself. And it also allows us to reclaim our true identity. So a few moments ago, I mentioned how our ego identifies us as being, that person is part of who we are, or that situation is part of who we are, when really who we really are is something completely different. We aren't the things that we've been through, or the people that we know, or the situations that, behaviors that we've had. That's not who we are. Who we are is as an individual person, as a beautiful soul, or however it is that you want to, whatever words resonate with you and you identify with. That essence of you is got nothing to do with the fact that somebody's betrayed you in the past. So it's about reclaiming that true identity of who you are, what your mission in life is, what your values in life is, and what effect you want to have on the rest of the world, and what your goals are. So it is really important to start letting go of the past, although I do appreciate it can be a difficult thing to start. So if you haven't got a pen and paper already, I would like to invite you to pause this video and go and get one, because when I'm working with my clients one-to-one, it's obviously I work with them, I understand their situation, they can kind of let me in on where they're at, what they're thinking, and we can adapt the coaching model to them as an individual and what it is that they need. So with my travel coaching, our journey starts long before the journey overseas or the travel actually starts. The journey starts within yourself, which is where the coaching side comes in, to change that mindset, overcome those fears, and boost your confidence, and let go of certain situations, and just start that personal development and self-discovery before you even leave. In this video, obviously, this is a general coaching session, so I will need you to obviously just write down the answers yourself and work with it yourself, because this is, although I'm going to be talking about betrayal and letting go, obviously your own situation is going to be unique to you. So have a little think about these questions, write them down, go away, or pause it after each one if you want. However you want to work is entirely fine. Whatever works best for you is obviously right. So ask yourself, what painful or negative thoughts and feelings are you holding on to right now? So what painful or negative thoughts? There might be more than one, there might be a whole bunch of them. Write them down, have a little think, take yourself to a quiet space, get yourself a cup of tea. I'll finish my cup of tea. Get yourself a cup of tea and just have a little think about what are the painful or negative thoughts and feelings that you're kind of holding within yourself right now? Write down your answers. Or if it's easier, get your phone recorder out and talk. I sometimes do that when I go out for a walk in nature. I don't do it just walking down a busy street. And the second question then I'd like you to ask is, what would happen if you choose to let go of this and free yourself? So just have a think about what your life would be like. What would it look like? What would it feel like if you were to completely let go of this betrayal? You're just going to free yourself from this betrayal. It is no longer harboring you. It's no longer holding you back. What would happen? What does your life look like once that's happened? The next question then to ask yourself is, why is letting go of this important to you? Why is letting go of this betrayal important to you? Because your reasons are going to be different from everybody else's. You know, this is all about you. This is about coaching yourself. It's about finding out your own reasons and your own things that are important to you so that you can move forward in your own life. So why is letting go of this betrayal important to you? And then the next question is, what other aspects of your life do you feel will be improved by accomplishing this? So once you've released this betrayal from your life, what other areas of your life do you think are going to improve from letting go of this betrayal? Just put some thought into that, you know. You've let go of this betrayal. It's no longer bothering you anymore. What other areas of your life are gonna all of a sudden just become more empowered? And then the final question to ask yourself on betrayal and letting go is, who will you ask to help you along the way? Now, we are not on this world alone. There are billions of people on this planet. And when you go traveling, you will meet so many of these incredible people. And I'm really excited for you to do that, because it's one of my favorite parts of travel is the people that you meet. But when you're at home now and you're kind of working on yourself, who will you ask to help you along the way? It's really important. One of the most fundamental keys of success really is who you surround yourself with, who's in your camp. I have been very lucky to have already done, quite a bit of travel myself, which means my camp is actually contains people from all around the world that just add incredible value and support to my life. And I hope in return, I add the same value to their lives. So have a little think about, at this point in time in your life, who can you ask to help you? Now, this doesn't have to be a family member or a friend. You could use a professional, or you could join some kind of group where there's other like-minded people that maybe are thinking the same thing as you. You could drop a comment on here and see if anybody else can wants to pally up with you and do Zoom calls and stuff, make new friends that way and support each other. So who will you ask to help you along the way? The next section that we were looking at then is self-care. Now, self-care is about considering your needs. It's about knowing what you need to do to feel good, to feel rested, and to feel worthy. So everybody is different. Our requirements are unique. Therefore, your self-care acts, will be different. They need to be something that you enjoy. Don't ever force yourself to do things that you don't like to do. That just defeats the whole point of it. It should be things that make you feel good. And the areas of self-care are your physical care, which is obviously your body, which incorporates things like, are you drinking plenty of water? Realistically, how much water are you drinking per day? Now, our body needs to drink water. It needs a certain amount of water just to function, just to keep you alive. Your digestive system, your energy, and you just need a certain amount of water to be able to survive, for your body to function healthily. So, you know, drink plenty of water, eat healthy foods. Obviously, the foods that you eat contain different nutrients and minerals and things which help your body to thrive. And being physically healthy is, you know, a fundamental part of existence. You know, you've got your physical care, your mental and emotional care, your spiritual care. All of these things all come into this one package of who you are and what you need to thrive. So your physical care is really important. So eat healthy foods, exercise. I don't like exercise. I don't want to do it. I force myself because my dietitian says I must. But yeah, it's true. You need to do. And I always feel so much better when I start exercising. It could just be going for walks. It could be going to the gym. It could be going, you know, doing one of those home workouts, or an app or something like that. It could just be doing some yoga, go to a class, it doesn't matter. And I do, my kind of exercise that I actually do thoroughly enjoy is going out for like long hikes and walks and stuff. I really enjoy that. For me, that makes me feel good. I know that my body's feeling good. Another physical care one is hot baths. Treat yourself to a hot bath. I like to put some essential oils in my bath. I have it really hot, put some essential oils in. You can have a bubble bath if you want. And I like to put a face mask on and just sit and relax and kind of unwind in that way. So physical care is really important. Mental and emotional care. So your mental health refers to your ability to process information, whilst emotional health refers to your ability to express feelings that are based upon the information that you've processed. So it's really important that you are being mindful of what you are thinking and how you are feeling. This kind of also falls under spiritual care, with the side of journaling, for example, or just basically checking in with yourself. If you're feeling a certain way, to ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Or why am I thinking this? Is there something better that I can be thinking or feeling? You know, how are you feeling at the moment? Ask yourself honestly. You don't have to tell anybody. You can just write it down yourself or just have a little think about it. Just check in with yourself, with your mental and emotional health. How are you doing? And then we've got some spiritual care, which is asking yourself questions like we're asking ourselves in these coaching questions today. Figure out who you are. What makes you tick? What do you like? What are your values? You know, what's your mission in life? I talk quite a lot about that. It's really important that we understand what our drive is and what makes us feel good. Meditation. I am a big fan of meditation. I'm a meditation practitioner, and it was fundamentally one of the core things that got my journey started and helped me to first start healing. It's incredible. And my clients that work with me one-to-one, they have access to meditations. It's something that's part of their experience of working with me is they are introduced to meditation if they haven't been already. Journaling, that is you know, writing down. You know, it doesn't have to be a dear diary. You could just write bullet points or notes, or you know, just anything really. Just get your thoughts out of your head and onto a bit of paper. It helps you to process them, which also falls in with that mental and emotional care as well. Signs and synchronicities, just being aware of what's going on around you, starting to take note of those things. And of course, travel. Travel is a part of your spiritual care. Travel helps you to expand your awareness and to see yourself and the world around you in a new way. It's an incredible way. So set yourself a little self-care plan. You know, write down physical care, mental and emotional care, spiritual care, and just pick a few things in those areas that you want to start with. You know, so you might put physical care. I want to start drinking more water, or I want to do, I don't know, 10,000 steps a day. I nearly spat my coffee out when my dietitian told me I needed to do a minimum of 10,000 a day, especially in lockdown. Mental and emotional care, you know, you can write down, what are you going to do? Are you going to check in with yourself at a certain time every day or every other day? You know, are you going to start keeping a journal of how you are feeling, if you're stuck in those kind of negative thought patterns or feeling a particular way? And then spiritual care, you could say, well, I'm going to start meditating. first thing in the morning, or I'm going to start consciously being aware of what's around me. Maybe you might want to have a gratitude journal. I love a gratitude journal, things that you're grateful for. Fast track way to happiness, guys, is to show gratitude. So travel, then, you can learn so much from travel, experiencing new cultures, learning about people, and all of this is going to ultimately help you to understand yourself, because so much growth comes from travel, which is why I'm such an advocate of it. And anybody who has been traveling is such an advocate of the benefits of travel, both to your, your transformation, your growth, your mental and emotional health, your physical health, because you do tend to do a lot more exercise when you're traveling generally. So we're going to move on to then the travel side. So I've picked Tanzania, which is an East African country known for its vast wilderness areas. Looks like Mowgli. I love this. So I looked at flights from the UK to fly in and out of. So I also should probably warn you, I am terrible. Like I tried to learn Spanish when I was in Panama. I went to school for a month, and I'm just not very good at pronouncing things. So I do apologise in advance to anybody from Tanzania who happens to watch this and thinks, what on earth is she doing? But Dar es Salaam. It's a major city and commercial port on Tanzania's Indian Ocean coast, which grew from a fishing village. And like I said, the flights come in and out of the UK. So this is the starting point. Now, evidently, it's a business hub. It's where a lot of the country's business kind of comes in and out of. And it's on of course, it is on the Indian Ocean coastline. Evidently, there is a lot of markets in this city. The Kariakoo market is one of the most famous in Tanzania. There's also a couple of beaches. Now, obviously, I haven't been to Tanzania before, so I know very little about it apart from the research that I've done online. So I do recommend that you do your own research, because part of this is that you experience the whole process, which is doing the research yourself. I do actually have a friend who I met traveling, who her name is Ashley, and her blog is Adventure Travel Pro. So if you would like to have a little look at her blog, I know for sure that she has been to Tanzania, and she has got some really interesting articles on her website if you wanted to go and check those out. So this is actually there are some beaches there that you can go to, and there's lots of restaurants and bars, but the most exciting part for me that I feel about this place is this is where you get the ferry to Zanzibar, which I am so excited about. Welcome to Zanzibar, beautiful beach island, a historic trade centre with Swahili and Islamic influences. Look at that beach, honestly, look, oh wow, it's incredible. So throughout my research, some of the top things that I saw that you could do are to visit Stone Town, which is the birthplace of Freddie Mercury from Queen. So if there's any Queen fans there, apparently you can't miss it. It's in the middle of town, and there's a big sign on the front door that clearly says this is where he was born. So if you're a Queen fan, definitely go and check that out. There's obviously lots of snorkeling, kite surfing, diving. You can learn to cook Zanzibar food. Love my food. Visit Jazani Forest. I need to go there so I can learn how to say all these words properly. And of course, the beaches, the white, beautiful, long, white, sandy beaches. You can also visit a place called Prison Island. Now, for those of you who do know a bit about me, my reason for going to Panama originally is because I saw it on season 3 of Prison Break. So when I saw Prison Island, I was like, what? Because I've obviously got a thing for prisons, which I didn't realise. But there's not actually a prison on this island. This island is evidently, it was quite often used for people that had yellow fever were kind of put on the island, and any unruly slaves that kind of weren't obeying were sent to this particular island. Thankfully now that is not the case. They do not send people there that are sick or as slaves. So you can just visit as a tourist, and it is a beautiful place to visit. And you can also, this is something that really excites me, which is you can eat at the Rock Restaurant Zanzibar. Now, honestly, look at this. It is a restaurant on a rock in the sea. Like, you literally have to either walk through the sea or swim, I don't know how deep that is, or get like that little boat over to the restaurant. How cool is that? I'm so excited. Honestly, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. I really, really want to go there. Just imagine sitting there having breakfast in the morning or at sunset. Oh, yes, please. Okay, so then moving on from Zanzibar is Arusha. It's the gateway to safari destinations, Mount Kilimanjaro, and national parks. Look at that picture. Honestly, it's incredible. I'm so excited. This is quite a good hub, a place to go out to different places. Again, and you quite often find that when you go traveling, is you find like a place to go, and from there you kind of stay there, but you go off for like day trips and see different places. And that's quite common when you are traveling, to find like a hub spot that you stay at and visit different places. Of course, I have to stress that, you know, when you're planning your trip, do what feels right for you. And a lot of places that you go to, it's really good for you to allow yourself a bit of flexibility. So some places that you go, you're kind of going to, you'll realize quite quickly, right, I need to be on a particular path here, and I need to pre-book my hotels or hostels and my travel. But for many places that you go to, I kind of champion the fact that you have that bit of flexibility for you to book things yourself, change your route if you want to as you go. It is what I did in when I backpacked through Central America for 6 months. I was very flexible, and I would meet somebody in a hostel, and I wouldn't really know where I was going to go next. And somebody would say, oh, you know, we're going here. Do you want to come? Or, you know, we've just come from this place. You should totally go. So I do think that having that, letting go of an expectation and holding on to a vigorous plan sometimes is a much better way to experience travel, to just have that kind of flow and flexibility, to kind of see what life brings you, really, and what opportunities show up. So from Arusha is Shemkar Hot Springs. So it's over an hour drive, but by all accounts is totally worth it. I don't know if you would need to, if there must be some kind of like pre-planned tours, I guess, that you can do. Something that I did read on somewhere that I looked, it may have been Ashley's blog that I looked at that I mentioned earlier, which is Adventure Travel Pro, was that you know, kind of need to look for some local guides. That's the best way to experience Tanzania, is to find some good quality that have good reviews. You know, they're established tour guides. Unlike me, who once, when I was in Nicaragua, the only way to get around Ometepe really is on a moped, and I just don't trust myself on a moped at all. So I was just wandering around, and there was some guys outside that I believed worked at the moped shop, and I was like, well, can I hire somebody to drive me? And this one guy was like, oh, I'll do it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, it turns out he was like the island drunk who by 10 o'clock had already had 3 beers, and I had to tell him off like a old housewife nagging at him not to drink anymore, which he did, thank God. Yeah, so just make sure that when you're looking for tour guides that you either get one on recommendation from somebody, or that you've checked out their reviews online and that they are, you know, legit travel guides. You know, they're knowledgeable and trustworthy. So yeah, so you can do that. You've got the Arusha National Park, there's safaris, there's of course Mount Kilimanjaro, which is not too far away. And the Arusha actually sits at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro's cousin, which is Mount Meru. And another place of interest which you can get to from there is Lake Diluti, which is a forest-lined volcanic crater. So there's definitely so much to do, and you know, Tanzania is such a big country, and most of it is you know, it is national parks or just wide open spaces full of, you know, incredible animals and creatures. So it's just, yeah, it's good to, this is a sort of place that I would recommend probably planning most of your trip anyway. So then moving on from there, oh look, these are some pictures of the area. So, oh, it's so exciting. Wow, wouldn't it be incredible to actually see these, like, I mean, I've been to, I don't like zoos. I don't like seeing animals kind of caged up, if I'm honest with you. You know, if they're rescued animals then that can't be rehabilitated back into the wild, then I understand. But just to see the animals out in their actual natural habitat like that must be incredible. I'm so excited. I haven't even booked it yet, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm there already. Iringa and Ruhara. So Iringa is a gateway again to safari destinations. Apparently, the kind of top thing here is this Ruhara safaris is what kind of people essentially want to do. I've read that it's a lot quieter than, oh gosh, I've forgotten what the name of the other one is called now. Serengeti? That place, Serengeti? Anyway, there's another huge safari which is much more popular, so therefore it's a lot more busier with tourists. So a couple of the articles that I'd read from various people who have been had said that this was without a doubt their favorite, because it was just as good, yet it was more quiet. Another place is the Ismaila Stone Age site, which I wonder if I've got a picture. Did I get? No, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't get a picture of that one. You can Google it. Part of your challenge is to do some research. Gangilonga Rock for a sunset. Although I did read that, you know, make sure that you do this particular one with a guide, you know, for your safety reasons. You know, one thing to remember is when there's going to be a huge cultural difference, you know, and people are living the life that they own it. They're living the life that they know and that they feel is the way that they can survive. So it's always good to remember that when you are traveling to another country, that everybody's situation is different and the way that they see survival is going to be different too. Ismaili Mosque. This is actually in Iringa, and I don't know what I was expecting it to, like, you know, the buildings to look like, but evidently it was quite it was occupied by Germans like a long time ago. So the kind of the building designs, this particular mosque, I just find it looks quite interesting, and you know, the buildings and stuff themselves just look not what I was expecting, put it that way. So you can also explore the downtown area, and I've put Lake Diluti on there again, which is wrong, so ignore that. Obviously just didn't take that out. So on this trip then, some things for you to take into consideration. Learning new skills. I think, you know, a huge part of you know, mental and emotional health, improved mental and emotional health, and well-being is about learning new skills consistently. You should never stop learning. Just because you left school, I am always doing some kind of course or some kind of training, because I just find that it helps me to expand my awareness of everything. I learn new things all the time, and I'm just such a champion for it. So some ideas of things that you could do is learn the Swahili language. So the official languages of Tanzania is English and Swahili. So although you probably get a lot of people that maybe do speak English, it would be very, very good for you to, even before you go, learn the basics like hello, goodbye, thank you, just in case, because it just shows that you are trying. It's good manners, shows a bit of respect, and it's fun. So, and then while you're there, try and, you know, pick up some more of the language. Problem solving. Try to look at situations that happen around you. Problem solving doesn't necessarily have to be something that's a catastrophic issue. It could be something like, you know, anything from missing a bus to, you know, losing something to taking a wrong turn in. You know, it doesn't really matter what it is, but just work on your problem solving skills, because, you know, I always find that travel in itself is that. Travel is, it helps you to discover things about yourself, you know, skills that you just never probably thought that you had before, and helps you to really strengthen them. Time management, making sure that you're getting to tours on time, safaris on time, getting buses on time, and you know, so just kind of really working on that time management and building those time management skills. And also the history, learn about the history of Tanzania, learn about the history of the Zanzibar, for example, or learn about the history of the animals that are there. You know, just kind of put a little bit of interest in what you're doing, an interest to learn about where you are and what's been there before you. Also self-reflection. This is a time for self-reflection on your trip, so you can do some meditation. Oh, you know what, I'm just really looking forward to doing a bit of meditation, you know, with the surroundings of, like, you know, in the safari out in the wide open and all the animals, and I can just imagine the sounds right now and just how incredible that's, you know, that must be. If anybody has been, by the way, and you've got any suggestions, add them in the comments so that everybody, you know, share your information, you know, with others. And if you have meditated like that, like, let us know, let me know. Because it just sounds amazing. And obviously the walks in nature, there's such wide open spaces, walks out in the open, when you can just be quiet, and it just kind of gives you that, you know, you are able to reflect upon where you are. I also do think it's quite good for you to stop and observe where you are as well. We quite often, we live in a world now where everything's social media and picture and photo and video based, whereas, you know, I kind of would always challenge, you know, anybody who goes traveling to step away from that, at least well, as much as possible, if I'm honest with you. But if you're walking around like this on your phone all the time, just try and be mindful and consciously put your phone away and just see, where am I right now? Where am I? This is where I am, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what I'm breathing in, and just take a moment to really feel it. Because although looking back at your pictures in the future is going to be amazing, what you want to do is for those pictures to trigger that feeling that you've got right there and then. So just be mindful of that. And of course, observe the cultures that are around you, because Tanzania has had a lot of different sort of countries and cultures that have been intermixed within there. So I just would imagine it's just got so much of a interesting you know, cultural history for you to absorb. And then we've got transformation. So spend time thinking about what you want from your life while you're away. What do you want from your life? You know, there's a good chance that, you know, when you are away and you come back, the things that you wanted from your life before you went are going to be different, because you know, your perception of life is likely changed. Of course, take action. So when you thought about what it is that you want from life, take action, and then be consistent every day. Be consistent, and there's some things for you to get started on and to take into consideration. So some action points then, write these down, set yourself some goals, identify how you feel, let go of the past, encourage yourself and others. So every day tell yourself, I can do this. You know, I am going to go to Zanzibar, Tanzania. look at me, I'm obsessed with Zanzibar now. I'm going to go to Tanzania. I'm going to do this. I'm going to let go of my, like, any feelings of betrayal towards somebody. I'm going to move into my stronger self, and then encourage others to do it. And be supportive and give yourself self-care. Be supportive of yourself, be supportive of others, encourage other people to look after themselves. The thing about self-care is, you know, it's like when you get on an aeroplane, when you go traveling, and the air hostess will tell you to put on your own face mask before you help anybody else. And the reason is because if you pass out, you can't help anybody else, so both of you are going to pass out. So always, you know, help yourself first so that you're in a position to be able to help other people. There's nothing selfish about that. You can't help somebody else if you're not in a good place yourself. Self-care is so important. It's not selfish, it is so important. And then just be open-minded. Like, what's the possibilities are endless, you know, and you don't know how you're going to feel about something and what you're going to think about something until you actually get to the point where you are experiencing it. So just be open-minded. Don't be kind of shut off. And this was a big thing for me, actually, because when I first pulled Tanzania out, I was like, Tanzania. I was like, this is going to be like, I don't know. I just didn't have an open mind. I didn't. I know, and I tell myself every day to have an open mind. And the first thing I did, and so it's natural, guys. We all do it. But just try and remember to be open-minded, because this is incredible. I'm definitely going. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found some use with that particular video, and obviously with betrayal. If you would like to work one-to-one with me, not a problem. Check out my website, which is onmyjourney.com. I've also got on there some downloads and some resources that are completely free of charge if you'd like to use those at home. So again, have a look at the website, onmyjourney.com. Let's stop sharing this. But if you would like to obviously subscribe and comment, like I say, if you've been to Zanzibar, or if you've got any tips for letting go that you think that you've used before that you think others would find useful, this is a nice community, this is a welcoming place. Please support each other, and just drop anything in the comments section. And of course, if you get any questions, let me know. But otherwise, Tanzania, here we come.